Alright, welcome back to the Refined Peasants. Today we're talking about hunting, the ethics of it, and really the three categories of hunting. And with October coming up in 2 weeks, hunting season starts here in our wonderful state of Oklahoma. Archery opens up October 1st.
Well, so hunting season proper started September 1st with dove season, but I'm not a bird hunter.
Neither am I.
Yeah. And Wyatt's not a hunter at all.
I'm not.
He's a tree hugger.
Yeah.
Maybe a tree boner.
So I guess I think anybody here is probably intelligent enough to know what hunting is. So where do we want to start off on this breakdown?
Well, do y'all think it's ethical to kill animals for meat? Me? Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I don't have a problem with it.
So I should admit I have a bias for animals, and that is the smarter it is, the more rights it should probably have.
Okay.
Why doesn't it get it?
So like cows, I don't give a shit. Deer, I don't give a shit. But like you start killing orcas, I tear up a little bit.
What about pigs? What about pigs? Pigs are smart as shit.
Pigs are smart, and that's a real one because pigs taste so good. They are so unbelievably delicious. But
I feel like
they're so smart. It's the same reason I can't eat dog. Is because
but dogs aren't delicious.
Dogs. That's why it's easier to not eat them. But I would have a problem eating dogs because they're so freaking smart and they're such good companions.
Yeah, and you really don't have to worry about the orcas or dolphins in this hemisphere.
Yeah,
that only happens in one.
Really,
we're landlocked.
Pigs. We just got chickens. Eat a million chickens. Why I love chickens so much? Because it tastes good and they're dumb.
They're dumb as dirt.
But I'm going to stick to hunting, not necessarily factory farming or whatever that is. Strictly hunting, you can kill for meat.
Okay, fair enough.
So
I think there's three categories on. There's people who are just strictly meat. They don't care about antlers, nothing. There's the sporters, people who do it for sport. They care about really the rack size and stuff, but they'll still eat the deer. And then you got trophy hunters who will not eat the meat. They solely go for the trophy. They don't eat the meat. That's mostly your big game, like your rhinos, your elephants, your lions, stuff. They're not eating the meat, but they're doing it just for the trophy.
I guess in the category of deer hunting, this would be people who only go to farms where they grow just monster bucks.
Yeah, so
but they all come to eat out of a barrel, and you could walk up and stab it.
I have my own issues with high fence, mostly because of the diseases, like CWD, which is chronic wasting. It's mad cow disease for deer. Started in captivity and then branched out. Luckily, Oklahoma only had one case, and it was an elk up in Woodward. But it's getting bad.
Yeah, in other places in the U.S., it's pretty rough.
Which every state or surrounding Oklahoma has a bad thing about it. Oklahoma somehow has not had it, which is great. Mostly because we don't have many high fence areas.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of. So, would you like to? Is that the end of your definition for your categories?
Yeah. Those are my categories. I consider myself mostly a meat hunter. I do like, obviously a big buck, but I'll shoot whatever is to fill a freezer.
Right. So I would argue with your sportsman category there. I mean, so I have no problem with the name sportsman, but I think your middle tier here is people who are actually they care a lot about the outdoors. They're enthusiasts. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They have a real passion for the sport itself of hunting. I don't think it's just these people shoot big bucks and that's it. I mean, so I consider myself a sportsman. And there's a bunch of different... Maybe we should go into the reasons why we hunt. I think that'd be interesting.
So why... he's the one who doesn't hunt.
So why don't you start us off then and tell us why you don't hunt?
Because in order to hunt right... You gotta wake up at asshole cold in the morning, and it's 4 a.m. and it's freezing cold, and I don't want to go.
I've been in many cold fucking tree stands, and
yeah,
it sucks.
The first, you know what? And part of it is that the only times I've been hunting, I've had horrible experiences. So all my friends duck hunted. Yeah, so I would go out duck hunting with them.
Bird hunting's a different
small
beast.
Fucking town, and I was sitting out there in fucking waders in 12-degree water.
I don't
know if you guys have ever been in 12-degree water, but waders don't fucking matter.
No, I don't. I don't duck hunt mostly because the people I did go duck hunting with damn near shot me in the face, Dick Cheney style. That's why I don't go duck hunting no more.
Like
all
I
right.
said, bird hunting's a different beast altogether because you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to.
So that's not entirely true. So like ducks, so like turkey, you have to be pretty still, pretty quiet, like you would deer. But mostly because turkey's on the same level as you. You're not 15 feet in the tree.
I was gonna say, well, turkey, don't you just literally like sit on the fucking ground against?
Yeah,
the
and you
tree?
can have pop up blinds and stuff and come.
The thing
they
is
come close.
turkey are stupid. Like
Yeah, turkey are pretty dumb.
the dodo didn't go extinct; it turned into turkeys and guineas.
Yeah,
There's just
pheasants.
dumb
Pheasants are hard to hunt. Pheasants are pretty smart.
I'll tell you my biggest deal with bird hunting is I can't tell what fucking kind of bird it is.
Yeah,
And there
so-
are strict regulations.
Yeah, especially here in Oklahoma, there's some strict regulations on, especially
migratory
zone
bird species. and-
Zone hunting is so depending on what county you're in and what zone. It's so strict. That's mostly why I stay away from it. I'm like, man, I can't see that far. I can't tell a mallard from a woody at that
Right.
point. Like, man,
That's kind of my thing.
Oh, I
is,
never
like,
did that when I went duck hunting. I just fucking.
If it
I mean,
flies, it dies.
It sounded like a fucking war zone at one. You know, you just hear pop, 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 pop.
dude, that's
a shotgun.
that is the scariest thing. Most people are like, why do you wear orange? Because man, it sounds like Vietnam in the fucking public
This
land.
is a fucking duck hunter.
Boom,
This is why
boom,
you
boom,
wear
boom.
orange.
Like, damn.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't hunt because I don't like. What's the fucking point?
I find it fun.
Because duck
It's
tastes
pretty
like
fun.
shit too. You guys ever had duck?
I love duck.
Tastes like-
Duck is great.
Tastes like ass.
So you have the wrong kind of duck.
So we're gonna. I guess that's pretty short and sweet because you. I mean, like you said.
So me and Garrett mostly deer hunt.
Yeah, deer hunting is definitely my.
I'll
primary activity.
coyote hunt mostly just for management. I hate coyotes. Coyotes ruin deer
You
hunting.
know, there's actually science that says that
Yeah.
coyote management is it's negative.
Yeah, so
correlation.
the more I read is like, so coyotes, the way they work is if you kill one, they basically have, like, say there's 5, and like you kill one, so there's 4. They'll immediately mate to replace the one that you shot and killed. So either you have to wipe all of them out, or they're just going to replenish. It's pointless. Which,
They're litter size too. So if you
Yeah.
come in and you wipe out, let's say it's a pack of 20 coyotes, and you wipe out 10, what would have maybe they had 3 or 4.
they're gonna have. They're gonna have.
They would
10.
have had. They would now have 24.
Yeah, they're gonna have to restock it.
It's kind of insane. They breed almost like a prey species.
Well, they
which-
really are, because wolves used to dominate this area.
I guess I don't know that.
All
wolves-
of North America, right?
Well, really all of the world, except Africa.
So-
Wolves didn't make it.
So
in
wolves,
Africa,
like
but-
wolves and coyotes, naturally hate each other. Like they will murk each other on. Like coyotes will kill wolf pups, and wolves will kill any coyote. It's just how it is.
Well, that's not the reason. So I don't kill anything I don't eat. That was something that I kind of got brought up in. Like, so if I kill something, I eat it. Like even snakes. If I have to kill it, I'm gonna eat it.
Snake's
Also,
good. Snake's good.
one exception is raccoons. I've caught 2 raccoons trying to get after my chickens, and I've shot them.
Oh,
And I did
raccoon
not eat them.
raccoon's not bad. Raccoon's gamey. Do a marinade with buttermilk. Raccoon tastes fine. Tastes like chicken. That's the thing. Like raccoon tastes like chicken if you prepare it right. That's
You know,
most
not everything can taste like chicken.
Eventually, something else is going to stop tasting
Speaking
like
as
chicken.
a guy who loves chicken,
I've never had raccoon.
So I do the philosophy of it's brown, it's down, which is a deer hunting thing, where I really don't care what's on its head. Like obviously, I don't shoot does mostly because of the rut. Like they'll come in, they'll bring the bucks, and then I'll shoot the bucks. But I take a doe about every year.
Yeah, so for me, I'm not necessarily of it's brown, it's down. I try to let young bucks and young does come in and walk. Like anything here in Oklahoma, at the beginning of archery, you'll get fawns that are still in spots.
Yeah,
and they're not fawns at that point; they're yearlings.
Yeah, so I got a
But-
yearling that's just now losing its spots. And
Yeah,
in October is 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I've got 2 in my neighborhood.
Which
that are
at this
still
point,
spotted.
they're weaned. Like, they don't need the mom. But they'll still stick around until basically the rut comes. Once they go into estrus, they'll kick the yearling out and they'll go into heat.
I don't know about all that, but I typically will let a yearling walk regardless. I don't really like to harvest them until they're full grown. One, because you want to take full grown adults out because it's better for the deer population. Because you take out an old breeding male or buck or doe, and then its offspring, which have different genetics. It's just better wildlife management. And
Yeah.
the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife, which has one of the best hunting apps. Like Go Outdoors Oklahoma is phenomenal, and they go into like they've got articles and stuff that explain all of this. In detail.
So it's really weird. So people are like, yeah, you want to save the big bucks or the old bucks because their genetics get passed on. The antlers are the same. It's like no. So antlers is completely random for each buck. There's like just because you have a really big, really unique deer does not mean the deer's children will be the same.
Genetics aren't completely random, but genetics do be fucky. That's the same reason, like two.
It's the same. It's the same. We don't look exactly like our father. It's an amalgamation. I mean, it's just how it is. But so we'll go into the tools used now. I'll ask you.
Well, hang on, because have we really covered why we like hunting? Because I have so much more to fucking say.
Oh, hunting to me is just fun.
So that's the only reason you do it?
I mean, so it puts meat in the freezer. I don't have to go out and buy. I mean, I love the taste of deer.
Yeah, there's really no beating wild venison. Like
there's some bigger game that I haven't got to hunt yet. That probably I've eaten.
Nothing I've tasted.
Elk.
I've never had elk.
Elk is delicious. I mean, it's just to me, it's just fun to go out.
What do you enjoy about it, though?
Oh man, it's just you go out in nature and just like I've seen so many sunrises that I never really would have. That from a deer stand.
So do you just enjoy the experience, like the being
pretty
out
much
in
like
nature,
yeah, pretty much like it's just silent. You're just listening to things, and then at the end of the day, either you get one or you don't. And you'll wake up in the morning and go at it again. It's just fun, like all around. It's satisfying too.
Why do you have to go hunt to enjoy it? Like nothing about what you said seems unique to hunting.
Well, so you put a lot of time and effort.
Like what is the urge? Hunting. What is the urge to kill another animal?
Probably a primal instinct, realistically.
I mean, so it's definitely a primal instinct. But honestly, for me, it's a matter of you're close to your food.
Yeah, you
understand where it comes from. You understand. I don't like some.
It's like
a lot of people would like a sacrifice the animal made, and I hate that because that animal, if it had an option, would not be on your dinner table.
Yeah, so it's like a chess match, especially if you get a certain deer you want. Trying to find his pattern, all that's a chess match. It's kind of fun.
It can be, and I mean, there's different styles of hunting because there's spot and stalk, which I think would be much more like a chess match, and then there's bait feeding, which we both do, and bait feeding is a sit and wait.
Well, there's
it's
three.
A game of patience.
Well, most people, like a lot, especially in like the South, they run dogs.
Yeah, we can't chase with dogs here, and honestly, none of our dogs are well enough trained.
No.
Like,
well, they're
dogs
not.
would chase deer, but not to me.
Yes, that's the thing. But I mean, so there's a big satisfaction. You set up, you do the food plot, you set up your blind, you set up your cameras, and then you get the pattern on the deer you want specifically, or the deer in the area, and then you do take the big buck. And there's just a feeling you get when you put your hands on the antlers.
It really kind of is an indescribable feeling when you get that deer that you've been tracking for a long time.
Oh yeah, like the buck fever, where you see. I even get it with like small bucks. You start to shake and.
We know you get it with small bucks. I'm not a hunter, but like Nick is notorious for killing spikes.
That's like one of the biggest deer in the family.
He does.
Yeah, one.
I've only got one buck, and he's a 4-point.
One.
I have several.
His other one's a baby. It's like fucking.
Yeah, I did kill like
this.
My first ever buck was like a yearly or 2 years old, but he had like 14 points. They were all tiny. We could fit a ring on it, so technically it counts. But he wasn't past his ears.
That's such bullshit. That thing was an 8-point that they found like indentions in the fucking.
Yeah, we found like the bits of like where it would have been a non-typical. We just
like in 6
put
months.
A ring on it. And we just called it. But like I've had.
You're supposed to be able to hang a ring. On
yeah, you can.
No, not just like indention. Like I'm talking like hang the fuck. No.
Seems like you were bullshitting.
Yeah, thank you. We still have it.
Yeah, we can go do this tomorrow. But I have one of the biggest deers. Dad's got the biggest, and the smallest.
No, I've got the smallest.
Dad's got a 4-point out there.
I've got a 4-point. My first buck was a 4-point.
Yeah, I get spoiled with my first buck. It was 8-point.
I think he's still my only buck. He is my only buck. I mostly take does. And while Nick is notorious for shooting small bucks, I am notorious for shooting deer in non-vital places.
Ass. He shoots them in the ass.
So I have shot one in the ass.
He's got one master fucking kill shot.
Oh, that's
right?
true. So that was my first archery kill, but I'm gonna go through the bullshit ones first, and we'll finish with that one.
Oh, I got you beat.
So my first deer ever killed was with a 30-30 rifle.
Yeah.
I was out at Uncle Russ's lease, and God, we were just sitting in the truck, and here she came. I pulled out and I shot her. And I mean, I shot her directly in the ass. But the thing about the thing of the ass is there's an artery that runs right along the spine,
the femoral artery, and it's a big one. It's a major.
And I shot her right there and dropped her 5 yards after. She was 5 yards from where I hit her.
Nice.
Let's see. And I had another one during black powder down in Ada.
God, I remember this story because
I shot him in the back, and he died on the spot, but it broke his back. I mean, if you shoot black powder, it's a 50 caliber ball.
Not a 50 BMG, 50 grains.
That I blew through his spine, and her. Sorry, it was a doe. I don't think she cares.
Yeah, so the thing about muzzleloaders, like, they leave, like, a fist-size hole as an entrance and a double fist-size hole exit.
And with black powder, that seems to be a problem, because I shot another doe at my place, virtually the same shot, and I think it's because I'm tightening up, preparing for that big kick that comes with the black powder.
Because we overload. We're supposed to put, like, 1 powder. We put 2. We do 100 grains on a 50-grain bullet to really send that, and it's a kick. Because the black powders we have, they're not too heavy. They're pretty light rifles.
But those are the 3 most hilarious shots. And then my masterclass one this was my first archery kill, and she was at 17 yards, and I shot her double lung through the heart, and I still got a picture on my phone. I mean,
perfect.
This is the heart. My broadhead went right through it. I mean, dead on. I will never make another shot like that in my entire life.
I guess we're sharing stories. My first ever deer was a buck, and I was sitting in a tree stand, and our dad always told us, you'll never hear them coming. They'll be there, they won't be there 1 second, they'll be there the next. And I look to my right, and there's a feeder and a tree, and nothing else but clearing. And there's a fence line, a little wood to the left. I look left, I looked back right, and there that motherfucker was at that tree. Mm-hmm. I had no idea how he got there so quick, and then he jumped to the feeder. I shot him. I said, fuck, it's nighttime. It's getting close to dark. I don't want to trail him. I shot him again in the neck, folded him, and then Dad drove his truck, and I had to yell at him because he about ran over it. I think my greatest ever kill was my biggest buck. We were in Woodward. It was cold as shit. In a box blind with Dad. We hadn't seen anything all morning.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That's when you all found them.
Yeah, and the way where we were at, it was nothing but like gullies and ravines, up and down hills. We see this doe just up the hill, and Dad's like, "There's a doe," and I had the gun. I said, "Well, there's the buck," as he's running up the hill after her. I said, "Give him a grunt." Dad grunted. That motherfucker turned around, made a beeline for us. 260 yards, dropped him.
Nice.
Like right in the chest.
Was his gun?
270.
Yeah.
Hit him right in the chest, blew out his heart, chest, and went to the guts. That was a terrible, terrible gutting.
Yeah.
But
I do love to hunt.
Hunting is great. My first, I cheat. People say I use crossbow for archery.
That is cheating.
That is cheating. Don't you fucking call yourself?
It's called a crossbow. It's got bow in the name.
It's a fucking.
You use a compound. Either use a recurve.
You use a compound? Are you a pussy?
Use a recurve or no talking.
Use a longbow.
Use a 7-foot longbow.
Use an atlatl.
Use a spear.
Yeah.
That's actually a real debate right now. Do we allow spear hunting?
I think anything you can ethically kill a deer with.
That's what. So I saw Joe Rogan.
I don't think spears are ethically killing a fucking deer.
I mean, they can be. Have you seen they're professional atlatl throwers? They'll hit you from 75 fucking yards.
And so Joe Rogan gave him shit.
They couldn't kill me.
Joe Rogan was giving some guy shit. I'm like, man, if he throws 100 spears a day, he's the same as someone who shoots 100 arrows. Mm-hmm. Because he knows his range, he knows what is ethical. It's the same as bow.
Well, so there's an efficacy issue. So as long as you can hunt it well, I don't really care what you use. Calling yourself a bow hunter when you use a crossbow is just outright cheating, unless you're disabled. So
no, whatever gets people out in the woods, I don't care.
Yeah.
I do not care what you use. Whatever gets you out in the woods hunting, I don't care.
Except poaching. Don't poach.
Yeah,
Poaching's
I've been shot at by poachers. That's why.
No, I just hate poaching.
Our biggest deer in Ada
It
got poached.
violates the sport of it to me. Like it's like so night hunting. Deer are very vulnerable at night. You shine a spotlight on them and they freeze.
Yeah.
It's like killing fish in a barrel. There is no.
You're using firearms, guys.
That's
Yeah,
true.
like,
I'm not taking the deer on in fisticuffs. I
Right?
get
You
it.
lose.
Right? Like
I did see a thing. It's like, man, that deer didn't see nothing coming. It's like, yeah, you were 300 yards with a fucking 300 wing mag. No shit.
Yeah.
He didn't see that coming.
he didn't hear the gunshot.
For most of his fucking existence, that wasn't even a problem.
Up until right that second.
I will say, I know a guy. I see him on YouTube a lot. He is so good at stalking. He'll stalk up to a sleeping deer and grab its antlers and shake it, and it'll run off.
I feel like they may have tranked that deer.
Like he does. Like
Oh,
you'll watch
no.
it back,
Okay.
and you'll go.
Played it in reverse, like right as it died.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be.
I'll say it like this. I see some people who take spears and blowguns. Like, some people use blowguns on fucking bears, like grizzlies. And I'm like,
Dude, see, that's just stupid. It's like there are people who
No,
hunt
that's real hunting, in my opinion.
that's a
There
great
are
way.
people who.
That's a great way to meet your god.
The only hunting that I think should be allowed is hunting big game predators with not firearms. Like, if you want to hunt a bear, you should have to hunt a bear with a fucking spear or a sword and shield.
I would love to bear hunt down southeast Oklahoma. I really would.
No, not
Dude,
black bears.
No,
either. Black bears are off.
Black bear sucks.
No, you
You have to pay for black bear
I,
tax.
I want you to hunt a mountain lion with like a trident.
Where am I gonna find a mountain lion? First off, no.
Oh,
it's
they'll
For
find
the
you.
hunt.
They'll
dude.
find you.
Well,
Don't you fucking worry
It's
about
illegal here.
it. Mountain lions?
Mountain lion's a special tag. They don't give it out. They
Dude,
give it out.
all I'm saying is if I see a mountain lion and it sees me,
It's coming right
it's
for me.
probably gonna die.
It's coming right for us.
No.
I found a bobcat one time, and I thought I was.
I think Wyatt would especially be scared of bobcats. You and big cats just don't seem to get along.
No, the
They
scariest
view
shit.
you as prey.
Scariest shit ever. Sitting in a deer stand. Hear what sounds like a woman screeching. And it's a bobcat in the tree next to me.
It's kind of astounding how many animals in the woods sound like a woman screaming. If you ever hear a fox,
I'll
what
tell-
does the fox say? It sounds like a woman screaming.
I'll tell you what this. The scariest thing you ever hear in the woods. In Ada. We were in Ada. It was me. I went to a stand. I'm walking in the woods, pitch black. I hear coyotes. And then the coyotes go silent. I hear hogs.
Yeah.
And the hogs we had in Ada, our feeders were, 5 feet?
Off the ground.
So the actual thing that spins and dispenses the corn was 5 feet up. One of the hogs' back was touching it.
We had some big hogs down there.
I was like,
Hogs
yeah.
are everywhere.
I climbed back in my deer stand and said, Dad, come with the truck and AR.
And actually, hog hunting is something I would actually participate in.
I love hog hunting. Hog hunting's fun.
I guess I never really got to explain why I like hunting, but we're too far gone now.
Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, hog hunting is kind of a different beast. So there is no sport in hog hunting with most people. Well, okay, that's not true. There are people who hunt because hogs you can hunt with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So
And helicopters.
and helicopters and literal fucking Gatling guns.
Yeah, like, I literally
But that's
legit
partially
mission.
because they're such an invasive species. I mean,
They're so dangerous, too.
what I think someone on Joe Rogan's podcast said like 20 pigs brought by Christopher Columbus turned into the entire wild hog population that we now have.
Nice.
And it's a mess.
The problem is, like,
Texas,
hogs
Kansas.
are so mean and aggressive that they will drive out anything, and, like, they will decimate fields. They're no nice.
They're like big locusts. Like they just come through and swarm.
And they're huge, and they get huge if you let them. The biggest issue is, like, some people, like, you ever see, like, Hogzilla and stuff? Those are, like, farm-raised hogs that someone just let go in the wild.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why would you
Because
let
it's
go?
500 fucking pounds. You know how much they take to feed that thing?
Well, at that point, like, once they reach a certain size, like, they're not worth eating. They taste so bad. There's not, like, you want to get the piglets. The piglets are the best tasting ones. Which that's...
I have so much wrong with that. But mostly because I connected to veal or killing fawns because they're more tender. Like, I hate that. I hate it so much.
You literally sent a fawn to the slaughter by killing his mom.
That's not true.
You did.
By the time you just said...
I know, but you thought for a longest time that you also killed a fawn.
I did, because I killed its mom. I bambied a deer.
Oh, shucks.
I guess we covered our hunting story. I'll get into it. There's a lot of important things about hunting. So, number one to me is it makes me feel really... So, I mentioned feeling really close to my food. I like knowing where my food comes from. That's why I have chickens, goats, rabbits. Like, I want to know where my food comes from. And it's not like I'm all like, oh, no GMO, no all organic bullshit. Like, no, I buy shit at the grocery store just like everybody else. I buy the cheapest beef that's 80-20 they have. Like, I don't care. But it feels so much more connected when you have killed and butchered the animal yourself.
Yeah, see, I like the full process, you know. The preparation that goes into hunting, doing the food plots, doing the feeders, doing the stands, you know, picking a deer, getting its pattern, killing the deer, gutting it, skinning it, butchering it. To me, hunting is an A to Z process. You know, starts from the preparation and Z is eating it. And you got to go from A to Z.
It's very rewarding to put all that work in and finally hit. And so I'm also a very big proponent of, like, I don't waste anything. Like, I keep the hides and I either make them into dog treats or I tan them into buckskin leather.
I mean, I take bones and they're chew toys. Antlers are chew. Like, it's not like a really big antler. Chew toys. It's great for dogs. Basically, the deer calves that are like really not much meat, I give to the dog. They'll eat a hoof and all. They'll eat the whole leg.
Oh yeah, my dogs do too. I mean, my dogs love deer season because they get the gut pile. Yeah. They get. I cut the liver and kidneys and heart, like the organs up. Some people eat deer heart. I've never found it very good.
Deer heart's pretty good.
I've never liked it.
I liked it. If you cook it right, it's good. Liver is good for catfish bait.
I dehydrate it all and just make dog treats out of it. And, you know, of course, the ears. I also do the skulls.
You're getting good at the skulls.
Well, hydro dipping is not difficult.
No.
It's just something you got to learn.
You need to get into taxidermy.
I don't want to get into taxidermy.
That's fun.
But yeah, like I said, I pride myself on really eliminating as much waste as I can, just out of. I don't know, it's almost like respect for the animal. Like, you know, if I'm going to take something's life, I want to put it to as much use as possible.
There's also a law.
Well, wanton waste laws are not enforced because they're incredibly hard.
You say that like.
Well, so
I've seen a lot of game wardens. I watch a lot of hunting videos, hunting shows, and some of these game wardens, like they will, like.
Yeah, but statistically, how many hunters get caught wanton waste? So, like, every year there's a picture of a deer that shows up, and it's literally a deer with just the backstrap, which is the best cut of meat.
It's literally missing the head, and it's got the backstraps gone. That's
right. And they left the rest of the body to rot, and that violates me.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. I can't imagine. Like, it was to the point where even, like, when we were leasing, like, when we were going to dad's lease and stuff, like, I would take all the crap no one else wanted because I was like, I'll take it. And
so, like, I give him, because he does all our processing now. I give him the hide and all that. I just basically make an order with him. Mm-hmm. Not deer sausage. You fucked that up too much.
Yeah, I don't like doing the deer sausage. It's such a hard balance to do. Yeah, honestly, I'm not happy with the jerky that I made this year either.
I like the jerky. But...
So there is the closeness to nature too. Like, I love the outdoors. I love being in the outdoors.
You're gonna love public land then?
No, I don't like public land. Is filled with assholes.
True. That's the worst part.
Which, I mean, so if you gotta hunt public land, you gotta hunt public land, and that's the thing you gotta deal with. Let's see. So I love the outdoor. Oh, there's wildlife management.
So I always donate to our wildlife department strictly for conservation reasons because they do our Oklahoma does such a great job.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk to a conservationist, talk to a hunter because nobody cares more about these animals continuing to exist than hunters.
It's like
and sadly, there's not a lot of hunters left anymore. Like, as my generation comes up, your generation comes up. There's not a lot left.
Yeah.
And I saw a post on our deer hunting page that was like, millennials just aren't, they're not getting out. I was like, that's fine, more backstrap for me. Increase the deer limit. I'll take.
So that's the funny thing. Like, back when people didn't used to hunt, you get these giant deer, like the Minnesota Monarch, and like these huge deer. And I'm all for that. Like, more deer for me. I do not care because eventually, sad as it is, the older generation is going to be gone, and as I get up and get older, less people are hunting, that's more deer for me. Mm-hmm. Like I think we increased our doe limit because people aren't taking does. I'm like, I'd take does.
So we didn't increase the limit. We increased how many you could take during rifle and black powder.
Yeah, instead of 2, you can take 3 now. Is it 4?
You can take 2 during rifle and 2 during black powder, whereas it used to be just 1 in each.
No, it used to be 2. I think
there were holiday antlerless. There were holiday.
Yeah, that's the whole.
What'd you say?
I said so. It's doubled. It doubled it.
So they didn't double the limit. It's still 6 deer. It's just how you can hunt them. So now you can hunt them with rifle, you can hunt more with rifle and more with black powder, if I'm correct. Which is just to encourage more people to take does. Which, in the hunting community, there's kind of this weird idea that you let the does live because they make babies and there's more deer to hunt next year. And again, on the Oklahoma Department of Wildlife app, they tell you why that's so fucking stupid. Like, basically, you get more deer, which means more deer starve. Like, we have very carefully thought out this population management. There's a reason we give you 6 deer, 4 does, 2 buck. There's a reason for that. And that's what you need to take. You need to take a doe over a buck every time. But that gets into, like, the trophy hunting where people are coming in for antlers only. And
so they increased from 2 to 3 now. You can take 3 does and muzzleloader and black powder. Or not, black powder and
rifle
gun, yeah. Obviously, archery you can take all 6.
Oh yeah, archery's always been that way, and that's part of why I love archery. Is I can hunt year round.
Yeah, you can hunt until January or something.
Well, and archery's also I do hunt with a compound bow, but it's a much more skill based. Like I feel so much more fulfilled. Like again, so going back to the heart shot, like it's incredibly difficult. So like with the 270, you can reach out and touch something at 350,
easy,
400 yards.
7 mag,
you can go
500
distance. But with a bow, I have to get that deer in to really, for me to take an ethical shot.
25 is my max. 25, 30 is my max.
I'll take a 45-yard shot with my bow. But after that, it's a wing and a prayer, and I just don't take it.
So here's my issue, because I crossbow hunt. Most people think I hunt with like a reticle on my scope, when it's basically just like a red dot. It's the same as your pins. Like I have to click up for yardage. So it doesn't magnify. It literally just puts a red dot there, and I have to click for yardage. And if it's set at 20. If I want to go to 25, I click it, and it brings it down, so I aim up. It's the same. It's the same as a pin on a compound.
That's another thing too. Like you have to adjust on the fly. So typically your bow sights you got 3 to 5 pins for your different distances, but you kind of have to so. I always want to sit down on a stand. I'll pick like 3 landmarks.
You pick your yardage.
And I'll zone in, so I know okay, this landmark is X amount of yards. So if the deer is near here, I know it's about there. Because I'm terrible at gauging distance just by eyesight.
My mistake. So archery's so much harder because I big learning curve. I never archery hunted until last year. I didn't know deer were so good at ducking an arrow, even on a crossbow. Well, it's shooting so fast, but they can duck it.
Do you have silencers on your bow arms?
Mm-mm.
That may be why. We need to get you some silencers.
It's an old. I don't have like a compound crossbow. I have a recurve crossbow. I can't put nothing on it.
Oh, it's just a solid piece.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I mean, so I've learned now that I aim basically right where their front leg bends at the beginning, right below the shank, and they'll duck right into it, and I'll hit them either top of the heart, middle of the heart, or double lungs at least. And I get a pretty good 100 grains, broadhead 100 grain arrow, and it gets a good pass through, and it gets me really good. Really, the broadheads I got now, I get like a huge blood trail. I get a really good blood trail.
That's another thing. So I am particularly good at tracking deer. I have never lost a deer. If I hit it, I found it.
I never had to. Mine always.
Yeah, yours dropped. That's not fair. Even that hard shot one made it like 30 yards, which astounded me.
That's unbelievable.
Right.
That's the thing is like you can shoot them heart both lungs and they will run 40 yards.
Why don't you just shoot them in the head?
So most people do it for racks. Like actually, so there is a debate.
But if it's a doe,
like a headshot's probably the most ethical thing.
It's also the most difficult.
Yeah.
The head's moving up and down.
For pussies, maybe.
Well, I saw someone, and
you are a crack shot.
I was so pissed.
I couldn't.
Someone we used to lease with. The kid, he was young. He was younger than me at the time. He was like 13, 14. He shot a deer buck in the head 3 times. Blew out its jaw, blew out half its face, and finally put it down.
He didn't shoot him in the head. He shot him in the face.
Yeah.
Shot him in the lower jaw,
Yeah.
the cheek.
I was so pissed because it
Not
took
the brain.
4 shots, and finally he said, "Shoot him in the fucking lungs." Like his dad told him, "Shoot him in the lungs. You're just fucking up his life." I was so pissed. I'm like, man, there ain't nothing left of the head.
I mean, it's gonna die. But
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's a matter of how quickly and how peacefully.
So I always go for ethical shots. So like now I hunt with I'm hunting with a 30-30. This year I might take the 270 out because we're going out to public land.
Okay. You might need a 270 on public land, but where you hunt, you don't need no fucking...
No, I'll probably hunt with black powder. Easier.
Yeah, unless range.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, I mean that, but like, so I hunt with a 30-30 mostly because it's a great brush gun. It is probably
fantastic.
It is probably the best brush gun that's not like a 45-70.
The 30-30 is probably besides the 30-06.
30-30 is the most has killed the most deer.
So I have no doubt about that, but I was going to say versatility. Because the thing with the 30-30 is you can't, once you get into larger game, like even elk.
No, it outperforms the 30-aught. So at 150,
I don't believe that for a second.
through ballistics at 150 yards, the 30-30 outperforms the 30-06 and the 308. But it's in that 150 yard range. They used it to take down moose, grizzly, elk.
So I don't hunt, but I do know a lot about ballistics. So when you reach peak velocity, right? So different guns reach that at different spots. Mm-hmm. So at 150 yards, that would just be... So a 30-30 is going to beat the 308, the 50 cal at a certain range because its terminal velocity is going to be bigger than a 308's not terminal velocity.
So the
30-06
hasn't reached maximum velocity within 150 yards.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the thing. To get their... Is it called twist rate? To get to their twist rate...
Yeah, so the twist rate... So
maybe. I don't know, but to get that, it makes them... Not only does it make them more accurate, but basically it allows the gun to... Or the bullet, I guess.
It's a stabilizer.
To kill better at a better distance. So, like, depending on like special forces and stuff, they'll take certain guns based off the distance that they think they're going to engage in combat.
Yeah, so...
because the bullets, like, are better to kill at a certain distance.
So, I mean, I don't have any on me right now.
That's how I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, So a 30-30 round, it's called a snub nose round. It's a flat top. It's a hard hitting round. Is what it's meant. It's meant to. So if you shoot a 30-06 through brush, it's gonna tumble. It's gonna be off the mark. You can shoot a 30-30 through the same brush. It's not gonna miss a beat. It's gonna hit where you're aiming. And it's such a big, heavy bullet. It punches like a tank. And it's got great
of being flat on the nose.
Well, it's also got great pen. And so the reason they're snub nose is because the way lever guns are, they have a tube fed magazine, and if they were pointed,
that hit that firing.
They hit the primer, and it sends a chain reaction of your gun exploding in your hand. But now, Hornady has made a velocity round for the 30-30 that has a plastic tip that bends, so it won't do it. And I just bought some, so I can shoot 250 yards now with that 30-30.
That sounds terrifying, though.
So if I can get my 30-30 sighted in, I can shoot 250 easily.
There you go.
And it's got this.
Never gonna take a 250
It's
shot,
got this. It's got the same stopping power as it has with the stub nose. Like the 30-30 is a great cartridge. Now, obviously, you can't take it like to Africa.
I don't know. If you can kill an elk with it, you can kill a lion with it.
Well, a lion, but you really want something that's going to punch harder, like a 300 Win Mag.
Like something that's going to stop the lion.
Yeah. Like, I mean, some people take bows.
I guess it depends on what you're... No.
Some people... I've seen someone, like, he does it, and he takes bows and hunt hippos, elephant. I'm like, man, I am not that brave.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I have no desire to meet my maker.
To die.
Today.
Yeah, so, like, I'm all for, like, I'd love to go hunt a rhino.
No. What?
Huh? I've always wanted to have a rhino.
Why not for me, this fucking guy?
Well, so here's the thing.
Well, so the rhino will get 8. Don't worry.
Some people think I'm crazy. I love trophy hunting. I think trophy hunting is the greatest thing to ever happen in Africa. Because one, poaching is now basically almost gone away because of trophy hunters. Because now they can afford to have basically militias.
Well, so from the money that trophy hunters provide, I would agree with you because it's conservation efforts like
$40,000 to shoot one rhino. That will protect a whole herd.
I mean, so I'm not disagreeing with you. Trophy hunting definitely has its benefits, and everyone likes to shit on trophy hunters. primarily because the trophy hunters we're going to talk about are wealthy. So
Yeah,
not everyone
they're-
can afford
yeah.
$40,000 to go kill a rhino. Or,
Not to mention how much it costs to get it stuffed and sent back to the U.S. Like, that's not included. Like, that's an extra fee.
Well, and so a lot of people really misunderstand the process because you see the picture on Facebook of them posing with a lion, and you're like, "How awful!"
We're in.
And it's like, look, you don't understand. They paid, probably for a big male lion, you're probably going to pay $80,000.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, they don't get to pick the line; they pick
Yeah.
it for you.
And the conservationists pick it for you.
So, like-
And they're gonna- what would be the most ideal animal to remove from this population?
So, like, they'll pick, like, say you paid $40,000 for a rhino, they'll take a rhino that's killed other rhinos, and it's a big mating bull that they don't. It's too old. It's just killing young bulls.
I think that's specifically elephants. What you're referencing?
No, they'll do it for all, like giraffes, elephants, rhinos, lions, anything like really old. That's lions specifically if it's
Well,
killed
they donate
people.
the meat too. That's another
Yeah.
one. Like,
Yeah.
especially
Like-
with like big stuff like giraffes. Like
Yeah, they'll
so
nothing.
giraffes don't really have a huge population problem.
Mm-hmm.
So like a bunch of people, they're like, you want to kill it? So giraffes are cheaper,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you can't. Like I don't know, like giraffes don't look that big because they look skinny, like in a
They're
photo.
huge.
But they've got like 900 pounds of edible meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
so
is
like
unbelievable.
So like nothing, everything that like every meat goes to a village. And if you ask the like people,
Sometimes multiple.
like
depending on
if
what
if you ask
like-
people in Africa, like, do you cry over a dead lion? They will tell you no.
Well, that's the same thing with Indians and tigers. Like everyone's so upset that tigers are being wiped out, and to some extent I understand, but the people not getting eaten by tigers don't care.
Yeah, well, like we did to wolves. We killed wolves because they were eating us.
Yeah, facts. I mean,
So like I think trophy hunting is like it's a necessary evil. Like it's
I don't even think it's an evil. I think it's necessary.
so there's a
And
clear benefit because we've seen the rhino population tick back up.
It's virtually all benefit because of
Yeah.
the way they have set it up.
Yeah, and it's not like these are shady. Like we've seen the actual progress it's made.
And I guess I should say that doesn't mean that people who are shooting these animals aren't assholes.
Yeah, they're rich
So
pricks.
they're going to be rich
Pricks.
egotists who are just going out there because, like, I want the prestige of having killed an African lion. And to me, that is not the correct reason to kill an animal.
Dude,
But
it still
you've
takes
done
so
this
much
thing
effort.
that capitalism can do, which is turn the worst aspects of human.
I have a question. Is it the same as going hunting an elk, buying an elk tag, and going killing an elk? Because you put in the same effort. His should just cost
I don't
more.
think it's the same effort. Because
Dude.
if you pay $40,000 to kill a rhino, you're killing a rhino. I could pay and buy an elk tag and never see a fucking elk.
So, that's the thing. Is like again, so it's more like high. It's basically high fence.
It is high fencing because they're all kept on reserves.
Yeah, but it's like
I mean, they have to be, but
I mean, it's just this thing. Like I get like they pay, but it still there's a lot of effort into going into harvesting the animal. I get like there's a good number of guys, and most of them got like 700 Nitro Express double barrel rifles.
I mean, so again, all I'm saying is if you see the guy with a picture of a lion that he went and hunted this year, maybe instead of assuming that he's an asshole, maybe understand that a lot of good came from what he did, and maybe he's still an asshole. Who's an
Two things can be
egotist
true
or a
at once.
narcissist or
Two
whatever,
things can be
but
true
he
at once.
still did a lot of good for the remaining lions, and really just the wildlife that he helped preserve in general.
I mean, yeah. Now, if you hunt it with a bow, you're fucking insane.
Dude, you're fucking idiot. Like I've seen pictures of people who hunt Alaskan grizzly bears with a recurve, not a fucking crossbow. not a compound bow.
I've seen a guy do it with a
recurve.
spear. He did it with a spear, and I said, and at that point, like you have to be an adrenaline junkie.
Dude, at that point, you just want to die.
That's a real man. He could have stormed Normandy.
Yeah, fucking clearly.
I tell you what, I don't know. If I would think so much more of a person if they hunted a grizzly with a recurve bow and they didn't even bring a sidearm.
Bro.
It's a great way
Like,
to
they gotta
meet
touch
your
his
gun.
knees, right? Like they just they just gotta
His back hurts constantly from carrying around
like he's
that
gotta
mass
swing it out of the way to shoot the fucking bow. Because there's no
Okay.
way, right? Like,
My favorite thing is
like
I'd
you
agree
couldn't
with you.
pay me to do that.
No, sir.
so do you want to talk about the downs? Like to me, like the downsides of hunting is mostly the community, how it's turned. Like I get shit on mostly because I crossbow hunt and like I don't wear this type of camo or this type. And to me, it's
So they're pretentious.
yeah. So like people like
I don't-
And I'm like, man, your grandfather killed shit in Plaid. The best camo is sit the fuck down and stay still.
That's a bear quote.
That's
isn't it?
Fred. That's Fred Bear. He's like, sit down, shut up, stay still.
So my experience with the hunting community has been the exact opposite. I
guess I'm on
I've
more
talked
social
to,
media than you, and a lot of people are pricks.
Everyone I've talked to, and granted, my that community around hunting is all from my men's group because we're all virtually all of us are outdoorsmen, and I mean they're just ecstatic to see someone my age take an interest. Like, no one my age hunts.
I'll tell you, I get excited for deer season.
I'm the only one out of the only male in my age group I know of that hunts.
Maybe get them all out hunting. Take them on a hunting trip.
No, because it's like most of them are like, I don't want to go spend time in the woods.
Well, I get that.
I don't. I fucking love it. I love it. That's why we're going Bigfoot hunting.
Yeah, my favorite thing is most people are scared, scared to walk through their stand at night. Like me fighting the Bigfoot in the forest for a little Debbie cake.
I'll tell you, I get a little in my own head about going out. So what was it? I was down in Ada, and I'd come down for my birthday.
You came early. Because me and Dad were gonna meet you for
y'all met me the next day, and it was a full moon that night, and I'm alone in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ada. I'm in a trailer too.
So
and I'm still just
the way our trailers were. We had one on this side, one right here, and a barbed wire fence to keep cows out. But it's pitch dark. There are no lights. The only light we have is a campfire in the middle. I don't know. Did you have the satellite TV at the time? We had what it was called the hopper. It was a dish thing. We put up. We could get TV and stuff for football and all that. But yeah, no, because we had it. Dad had it. So you're sitting there by yourself and pitch. And like our shitter was 20 yards
into the dark.
Yeah, and it was basically a big brush pile, big brambles, and you sat on basically like a stool.
Yeah,
and it gets
one of those
scary.
Like handicap chairs that you put over a toilet.
Yeah, and it I've been on there. I hear something flick the headlamp. There's a fucking deer standing there looking at me like. God.
Yeah, what I'm afraid of is not the fucking deer. It's not even the hogs. Because I came down and it was a full moon, and I was like, nope. Well, and then so you start Googling, and there's actually tombstones in fucking Ada, Oklahoma that say mauled by a fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm gonna just hope this piece of shit trailer door can keep out a monster of myth. Like,
oh no, my biggest fear is I was where I hunt now. I made a tripod, and I have a little skirt that goes around a little hood, a little camo, and it's pissing rain. I think you've seen the video where I'm sitting there. It is pissing rain. So I turn my little chair around to not get wet, and my fucking thing starts to shake. First thing that goes in my head, not wind, is fucking Bigfoot climbing up my damn tree stand. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I remember that text message chat.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I don't want to turn around and see 8-foot tall monkey man looking at me. I'm just gonna pretend he's not there.
That's kind of the thing, though. Like, anything that I'm scared of in the woods is either stuff that doesn't exist or it's a cat. Nothing in the woods scares me like a fucking mountain lion. And the reason it really shouldn't, because if a actual like full-grown mountain lion has picked you as prey, you will probably not feel it.
I don't know about that.
No, because they're gonna hit you straight in the back of the neck. It's just gonna be lights out.
If you're lucky. People get
That's why
mauled.
I said an expert. Like, so you get mauled. Humans typically get attacked by younger cats anyway that aren't as proficient at hunting. That's why they're hunting humans. But if you get a big 150, 200 pound cat who's they're gonna hit you in the back of the neck. Their fangs are gonna sink in, and it's just gonna be a nap. Like you're dead. It's
Fuck
fine.
this shit
It's
out,
over.
man.
It's gonna be a young cat. My issue with them is I will never see them coming. There's no hope. If I see, I think I've said this before on the podcast. If you see a big cat, it's because it was not after you. It was after something else that you have not seen.
That's my biggest thing here in Oklahoma. Like, people are like, we don't have mountain lions. It's like,
But
motherfucker,
we
I've
don't.
seen. The trail we are going to hunt Bigfoot on, literally the 4 counties just had literally the mountain range we're going to be on. The wildlife department sent trail cameras. There's fucking mountain lions just, there's bear all over it. It's like, yeah, this is on the trail.
So,
Be wary.
I'm less inclined for this.
Funny mountain lion story. I was at college, and So I went to a college that has a fucking golf course literally right next to the dorms. Gary, you've seen there was a golf course right next to the dorms you visited, like right there, right next to the football field, and they canceled class one day because there was a fucking mountain lion on the golf course, that close to fucking campus. I want to say they ended up they couldn't kill it, I don't think. So they were trying to lure it away with their fucking guns pointed at it.
Can you imagine?
Your ass.
You're on
and I'm not talking. They didn't have pistols. They weren't risking shit. They had shotguns and
ARs.
They were
Can you
gonna
imagine?
hit the fucking.
You're on hole 14. They're big old cougar and what up?
So they emailed us and they said like, "Hey, nobody be alarmed. Don't leave your dorms.
This is a super predator.
There is a mountain lion.
Some
warning in
student got
effect."
mauled.
Like, they told us, and I'll be a son of a bitch if, you don't go out there, and there's got to be at least 12, 15 cops fucking out there.
I'm talking about students just
trying
like,
to fucking maneuver a fucking wild cat into fucking getting out of there. And that cat wanted no business. They kept looking around for trees going, fuck, no trees, no trees, no trees, no tree, no bush, all the grass is fucking short, fuck.
Yeah.
It tries
That's
to
the thing.
hide in the sand pits, and it digs up, and it doesn't.
No.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Is so cats, like even big cats, like big mountain lions,
Like they want to.
they're afraid. Like so, it takes a dog that's no bigger than your dog to tree a mountain lion. Because if their prey sees them and can find them, the cat's like, crap, I don't know what to do with this.
Well, to be fair, like usually when you hunt, like most people run dogs for mountain lion. You really have to. That's the only way to hunt mountain lion, and you run like 15 dogs, mostly because that cat's not taking on 15. Can't.
I've seen cats treed with 2.
You can. So my biggest thing is like after you
I've seen bear treed by 2.
Oh, if you got really good dogs,
Grizzly just fucking dogs.
especially if they're trained and they're trained really well, like seasoned, like they know how to take care of a bear. Like one will distract it, the other will literally like grab it by the heels.
I don't think that fucking matters. So with black bear, I've seen them literally chase black bear up a tree. Like the black bear is running away from them.
Yeah.
The problem is again, like I was saying to Wyatt, like you take 20 fucking dogs to hunt a grizzly, and you've just fed a hungry grizzly. Like it doesn't fucking matter,
dude. I'd love to grizzly hunt, but I'd know I'd be scared.
It is mastiffs. You could take like 10 mastiffs.
You know, there's like the Siberian Mastiff is bred to hunt polar bears.
It's a
it's a mean fucking dog. But like
it better be.
But like I've seen people like, oh look how far that grizzly bear is. That motherfucker still is like grizzly bear can give cars. Like they can outrun cars. Like they can run 30 miles per hour.
And outrun Usain Bolt.
They are 1,000 pounds. Like you're like, oh that's so far away. Never far enough away.
I mean, so a full-grown grizzly bear's paw is like.
So the problem with grizzly bears is like, yeah, they're big and stuff, but dude, they are stealthy.
This is soft pads.
I've heard too many horror stories. Like you're in camp, and next thing you know, a grizzly's fucking next to you.
And they can smell you from like 5 fucking miles away. They can smell the berries on your breath.
My favorite story is it's Steve Ornella, Meat Eater, is the thing he does, and he tells this story. He goes, "Yeah, I was sitting around a camp, a little camp with all my buddies, all badasses." He goes, "Badass, I'd just shoot a grizzly with a pistol here," and he said. Some guy's like, hey, how come you get the bologna sandwich and I get this PB&J? Because he goes, well, because I make enough. And he's like, as soon as I said enough, a grizzly bear came running in. And so, these Billy Bastards took their fucking walking sticks and went whack on the head. I said, holy
shit. I don't fucking think so.
He said,
my soul done left my body.
He said, I shit myself.
Yeah.
He goes, because this guy, instead of grabbing his 44, hit it with a stick. He goes, granted, a pointy stick, he didn't even hit the pointy end, he hit with the round end, he went whack. I said, you're just pissing him off.
Bonk.
It's basically,
and it fucking worked.
Like, apparently, like, it startled it and it backed up, and then they grabbed their guns. I'm like, man, I would have thrown Wyatt to the fucking grizzly and would have ran.
The problem with grizzly bear is that, like, there are some parts where you can go and, like, they're so full on fucking salmon and berries, they don't fuck with deer, let alone fucking humans. Mm-hmm. But you just gotta catch them off. They can just be pissed off just because they want to kill you. Like, they may just go, Like there's a video of a dude sitting right next to like 30 of them. He's like a National Geographic photographer, and a bear fucking comes right up and just plop like fucking Yogi.
Yeah, that's how a famous bear guy died.
And he was like,
Did it sit on him?
he's just sitting there, and what I can imagine is, shitting his pants, and then the bear, fucking walks away because
Wyatt's over here.
his pants. Like,
Wyatt would see them go. Bop.
Go away, bear.
I don't know. I may mount it on top of that.
I saw
like, just
one
ride it. So
where they
after
war
you
bear.
bop it?
Yeah.
I saw one where they killed the world's largest grizzly bear. It's 13 feet tall on its hind leg. It can look over a fucking house and see you. And they found a hiker in it.
They found a hiker.
They found a missing hiker. They found his remains. And then they found, because they saw the bear had been shot before the ranger shot it. And then they found the .38 pistol in the bear.
That's some balls. Like, you
And
ate the gun that tried to kill you.
You know how stupid you gotta be to bring a .38 in grizzly territory? Then you might as well be...
take like a 45 at least.
40. No, you take a 45-70 lever action big fuck off gun.
You take a goddamn elephant gun, is what you
You
do.
take a Nitro Express. He's like, Yogi gonna get
My
it.
arm might get blown off.
You
but-
take whatever it fucking takes. And then probably 2 calibers above that.
Yeah.
I saw the thing. He's like, should I take bear mace or a gun? And the guy goes, fucking question's that gun. What are you gonna do? Season yourself with the fucking bear mace?
Well, so it's a non-lethal deterrent, but a gun... So there's a couple aspects to a gun. One, if you hit them, it's going to hurt. And 2, it's going to surprise them. And 3, it's loud. Loud to us, much less an animal.
Have you seen the story of
we need to hunt them with grenades.
Like RPGs.
44 millimeter?
I'm talking
grenade
just
launcher?
like... Because you don't have to be very accurate.
Have you seen the guy who survived 3 maulings by the same bear? Same sow
He deserves it.
sow grizzly.
At some point, you have to ask, what was he doing to the bear? Like,
Well, so he came upon the 2 cubs at first, and his first instinct was, fuck, where's Mama? Well, Mama found out where he was.
yeah.
So he gets mauled, he goes, fuck. So he lives, he goes, I'm gonna walk. It circles back around, mauls him again. He said, alright, I'm still alive. He walks to the river, sees the 2 cubs, and went, fuck. Sure enough, 5 seconds later, Mama mauls him again. He goes, I'm like, at this point, he just died. He lives. He limps back to the truck. He sees the bear again, and he goes, alright. This time for sure. And it fucking runs away for some reason. And he goes, why couldn't you do that like 2 maulings ago? He's like,
Have you ever seen The Revenant, where that bear just
rapes him.
fucks him up, man? I couldn't do it.
The fucking paw the size of your head.
Fucking
Bonk!
Yeah.
looks like a fucking...
You have to
catcher's
bop the bear
And-
first, because if he bops you first, you're dead.
And
die.
people think a silverback will win.
That's a stupid argument.
It is a stupid argument.
It's like 800
I
pound
started this argument in a Mazio's in Newcastle, Oklahoma. I
want to see
I
that
have
fight.
a Twitter that has been active since freaking before Trump was even president. And I asked, who would win in a fight, and I swear it took off like a fucking meme.
Have y'all seen the American poll that said they could take on a lion hand to hand?
Yeah, we've talked about that
we've
before.
talked about that
And that's so dumb.
idiots.
That's such a dumbass.
Okay, so in India they wear like the mask backwards to fool tigers. Tigers are learning that's false.
Oh my God.
Well, so I don't understand what a human looking at you is really gonna matter. Like they can't fight back.
So like big
That's
cats,
a fucking tiger. That's
big-
the apex goddamn predator.
so big cats especially, they want a quick kill. They don't want to fight. They want a quick, clean kill. They don't want to have to waste energy.
They're also territorial, though.
It's
right?
the same. It's the same with mountain lion. If you see it, it's not going to probably attack you because it's been caught. So as long as you
you
keep
see it and don't run.
that's the thing. So like
Because if you run, you're food.
So that's the
And it
thing.
will
So
kill you.
tigers have now learned that those are just masks, and they're starting to maul more people. And it's like, well, that's a problem.
I think they're just
So
not
you know
hungry.
how, 2 years ago, it was every time on the news they had the flashing of the amount of people that got killed by COVID that day. So do you think in India they just have that just with tiger melons?
Well, the problem with
I
tigers...
hope so.
Have y'all seen the video of like they're on top of elephants and the tiger
Jumps up.
on, like, basically it fucking verticals over the fucking elephant and mauls some poor soul who was on the fucking head.
Well, tiger fences have to be like 12.5 feet minimum, and then they have to arch back.
But
Because tigers can jump 10 feet, like, clear in the air. Like, look up a fucking tiger jumping. It's unbelievable. Like, they can jump literally, like, fucking from the ground to the bottom of their lowest foot can be like 9.5 feet.
Well, and so the thing you have to realize too about these animals. So Oklahoma City Zoo just got tiger cubs. So we went and saw them the other day.
Tiger King,
last
let's
weekend.
go!
And the thing you have to realize is like the animals you see in zoos are not the animals you meet in the wild.
Yeah, they have their spirits.
Like, and I'm not even talking about temperament. I'm talking just pure mass.
Mm-hmm.
So these tigers, like, you see them and like they're scalable, and you're like, well, that's not that big. Like, okay. And then you look up what a big male tiger can get to in the wild, and you're like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, you see
Like,
you
no.
see the obese tiger in the captivity, like, oh, that thing's not that. You know, and then you see a muscular one in the wild, like, oh,
Yeah, there's like the
Yeah.
two. There's like
400-pound Bengal.
Yeah.
Like,
not fat,
a
all ripped.
Siegfried and Roy cat.
like they're great! like,
where the fuck did that come from?
the fuck?
You just been sitting there quiet building that up.
like that's just
Ethan,
it's Tony the Tiger, right? Is that not what he does? Is that not what they say?
What?
I don't think.
That was such a shock. Like, my heart's racing right now. You fucking scared the shit out of me.
I don't think tigers in the wild say that before
Well, they fucking do now in
Well,
my
he was
head.
supposed to be foaming at the mouth when he said it. Like,
Is it foam or blood?
Whatever.
It's Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey meets Tony the fucking Tiger. It's Tigger. It's Tigger from Winnie the Pooh.
God, can you imagine you're just sitting there in India and you're just there?
No, do it again. It'll ruin it. I thought about it.
he said, "Don't do it again."
Don't do it again.
The first time I hear that back on the camera, that's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking die again.
Okay. Oh, I know why it doesn't want to. Garrett, what's one animal you'd want to hunt?
Oh, good lord. Could it be any animal from it? Actually, yes. It's Bigfoot.
Okay, real.
Bigfoot.
Scientifically
Confirmed real by science. Has a genus and everything.
Any time period?
No.
Well, I think. Well, let's go with now.
Yeah.
And I
Now?
still want to answer you, dick. Did I kill a lion? Are you kidding me?
Bison.
Yeah, I'd love
American bison?
Yeah, they're huge. Have you I think you said in Ada, like they had the stuffed head. They're huge.
Yeah, you don't realize how big they are until, Same with moose. Like, you wouldn't think a fucking
Moose are
Moose, it might be a second.
Moose are like the fucking size of like a camper.
Moose kill more people than fucking bears.
Oh, gosh.
Have y'all seen the video of like the person driving in Alaska and they're on like it's that night and all of a sudden there's a moose in front of them? It's like to be continued. Like they're about to slam into a moose.
That's when he knew that he fucked.
Nick, what would you hunt?
Oh, bison probably. I really want a grizzly.
Grizzly's a good pick.
Grizzlies are.
I don't know that I have the testicles to because I'm way too munchy for a grizzly. Like, he would take one look at me and be like, ha, and then I'm fucking
Boo boo! Get
and
the
then
honey
I'm-
mustard.
and then I'm dead. Like, no sauce, no, like, he could take half a fucking paw swipe at me, and it's like, oh man, he's dead.
That's man.
In fairness, that's not just you.
That's everybody.
No, because I'd really hunt him. I wouldn't hunt him in a stand or whatever. Like, it would be me versus him. Like,
Crawling into his den.
Have you seen the commercial
With
where
a
the guy's
shield
like
and a
fist
spear.
fighting a bear? Like the mock commercial where the guy's like fist fighting, like boxing a bear. I'll have to show y'all later, but that's how I picture
it's a fake commercial. Like, the bear does like a 360 kick and hits him in
It's
the
like, oh look, an eagle, and he kicks him in the
it's
nuts.
really silly.
It's like for like a salmon thing. It's
I
like,
think
oh,
I have seen
oh
it.
look, an eagle, boom.
So what would you hunt? What?
Oh gosh, baby elephants.
I thought you were going to say Brazilians.
Well, we didn't ask you two why you would hunt yours.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're normal. Like, you want specifically babies?
Oh, is that not what they call them? Cub elephants?
No, it's baby elephants.
baby
why,
elephants.
Why fucking baby elephants?
Because they're still massive.
But why not
You
full
got a
grown
point, man. You
elephants?
got a point.
What's wrong? What's wrong with killing baby
I
elephants?
think he could just take one in a fist fight.
I feel like I'm being set up again.
Okay.
Dumbo, no!
What animal throughout all of time would you guys want to hunt?
T-Rex, what the hell you mean?
Fuck, yeah. I think it's gotta be a T-Rex.
Oh, that's a good.
There-
I didn't even think. I was thinking like saber-toothed cat, but I didn't even think about dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's kind of the like, I can't think of a bigger
Oh,
fuck
God.
you than to have a T-Rex that I killed. Like a T-Rex with the bullet wound in his skull. I would have that sitting in my fucking driveway for
I don't even know
eternity.
how I'd do it, but I'd have to kill a megalodon.
Megalodon. Fucking
I don't care what you call it. That's a pretty good choice, though.
It
Six.
land though, because that'd be hard to kill. You'd have to get it in the shallows, and then you'd have to have a bomb, and that's fucking hard. So, oh gosh,
Mammoth.
dire wolf.
Man, that's a good choice.
Short-faced bear.
God damn.
Good choice.
You know there's a bigger one in South America?
Is it really?
Yeah, it's bigger. I'd hunt that one.
God, Megaloceros, that big ass deer moose thing.
Oh, the Irish elk? Oh, fuck yeah, I'd hunt the Irish elk.
There's so many things from antiquity that we killed off too soon before I could kill them in the present.
I'd
I
punch a
passing for
dodo.
Pigeon.
Only right now.
I'd beat a dodo
Only
to
right
death.
now. Mammoths.
Mammoth is a good choice. I think T-Rex is probably going to take the cake, though. I mean, so I keep getting this picture in my head of the guy from Jurassic Park 2.
Oh yeah,
He's
he wants
straight, like,
he wants the bull.
he's helping them capture all the animals for the new park they're going to build
And
in
his
San
payment,
Diego.
his payment is he gets to kill the bull T-Rex.
Yeah. A bull, a male, a buck. The big mean one. Like,
No. The
and then he
bull.
finds out that the females were really mean, too. But, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Nick, you got any closing thoughts?
Go out and go hunting. It's pretty cheap. Well, find a gun.
Yeah. I mean,
You can go to
already got a gun.
Walmart. Go to Walmart. They got some pretty affordable guns. Tags, depending on your state, they don't cost much. If you're a resident, non-residential, it's going to cost you a pretty
lot.
penny. It's really fun. Like there's just a satisfaction when you go out and hunt. It's cold. It gets cold, but
It's so rewarding.
it is.
It really is.
And don't send it to a. If it's your first time, maybe send it to a processing place, but it's better to do butcher it and cut it up yourself.
And if it's your first deer, you have to take a bite out of the liver
I did heart.
or the heart.
That's the rules.
You don't have to do that.
That's
No,
the
you
that's
have to. It's
that's the
mandatory.
family tradition we did.
No.
That's the tradition. That's
it's
everywhere.
stupid. Stupid. I hate Red Dawn for that.
That's the only
Got
reason.
people eating deer hearts and getting. I don't remember what it's called, but it's whenever you drink contaminated blood. I don't remember.
Sepsis?
Maybe.
Sickle cell anemia.
Don't get me lying to you.
It's not very fatal, but it'll put you in the hospital for 2 weeks.
No.
It sounds like
If you
sepsis.
kill a predator, make sure to cook it right. Don't get trichinosis. That's what kills you.
Maybe don't start hunting predators. Don't start something that hunts you back. I'm just gonna throw that out there too.
If you're going to
No,
hire
I think you
Arnold,
should. I think you should only. I mean, if you want to storm Normandy, like you're gonna have to.
the war's over.
Is it?
We're getting weaker, Nick.
Was
As
it
a
ever
society, we're weaker. Men
guess-
are being weak.
Yeah, because they don't hunt. All right. Well, this has been the Refined Places. Go out, go hunting. Let us know in the comments what animal you would hunt.
Yeah, that'd be.
That's not baby elephants. You fucking
You fucking monster.
Nobody
you-
judges you guys for
Oh,
yours.
would you like?
The
would you-
only thing cuter than a baby elephant's a
what
baby
would you?
hippo.
Oh, before we. What would you use? Would you like strangle it with its own trunk?
Oh my god, I'm not an animal.
Well, all right, I'm
Grenades.
done. Nice talking to y'all.